Good evening and thank you for joining us on ERi-TV. This is English news broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara at 10:30 p.m. local time. First, the top stories. 46th anniversary of liberation of NAFA observed. Seminar focusing on controlling harmful practices conducted. Iran and Syria condemns U.S. attack on Iran-linked facilities. Russia to station nuclear arm in Belarus, says Vladimir Putin. The 46th anniversary of the liberation of NAFA was observed on 23rd March with patriotic zeal. At the event in which Mrs. Asmarat Abraha, governor of the northern Red Sea region, army commanders, village elders, as well as members of the Jamahir Association and a number of NAFA residents took part, Mr. Yaqub Idris, administrator of the NAFA subzone, said that NAFA that had never fallen again in the hands of the enemy is a symbol of the perseverance and resilience of the Eritrean people as well as the liberation fighters. Mr. Yaqub stated that the 46th anniversary of the liberation of NAFA was observed at an exceptional period in the history of the country and that the objective of the observance is to transfer the noble value of the liberation struggle to the young generation. The occasion was highlighted by cultural and artistic performances depicting the heroic feats demonstrated by the liberation fighters as well as the perseverance and commitment of the Eritrean people. Seminar focusing on controlling harmful practices was organized to 32 females from the subzones of the Kamhara, Dubarwa, and Adhuala. The seminar that was conducted from 21st to 23rd March in Mandafera included the role of the National Union and Eritrean women in the effort to control harmful practices, difference between gender and sex, as well as cultural and tradition. Nothing that completely eradicating harmful practices is not an easy task. Mrs. Sanait Aforki, head of the union branch in the southern region, called for the preserving the achievement that has been already registered and strengthen participation for better outcome. The participants of the seminar on their part commending for significance the seminar called for organizing similar seminars in all subzones of the region. International news follows after a short break. Stay tuned. The government of Iran and Syria have condemned the U.S. for attacks on Syria soil that reportedly killed 19 people, which Washington said it carried out following a drone attack on U.S. forces. Both the Iranian and Syrian foreign ministries late yesterday slammed the U.S. air attacks that targeted the strategic region of Deir ez-Zor bordering Iraq. In a statement, Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani said the terrorist attacks by the U.S. hit civilian targets and constituted a violation of international law and Syrian sovereignty. The U.S. claims that it is present in Syria to fight Daesh, that itself had a major role in creating is just an excuse to continue its occupation and loot Syria's national wealth, including its energy, resource, and wealth, he said. Kanani also said Iran only has military advisors on the ground in Syria at the request of its government, rejecting U.S. and Israel claims that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has a sizable military presence in Syria. After the attack, U.S. President Joe Biden said the U.S. does not seek conflict with Iran, but it is prepared to act forcefully to protect their people. Ukraine today called for an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council over Russia's announcement that it would station tactile nuclear weapons in Belarus. Ukraine expected effective actions to counteract the the Kremlin's nuclear blackmail from the United Kingdom, China, the United States, and France. We demand that an extraordinary meeting of the UN Security Council be immediately convened for this purpose, the Ukrainian foreign minister said. Kyiv today said Russia was holding Minsk as a nuclear hostage after Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the deployment of tactile nuclear weapon to early Belarus. The Kremlin took Belarus as a nuclear hostage, the Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, Oleksiy Danilov, wrote on Twitter, adding that the move was a step toward the international destabilization of the country. Putin's statement about placing tactile nuclear weapon in Belarus, a step toward internal destabilization of the country, maximizing the level of negative perception and public rejection of Russia and Putin in Belarusian society. The Kremlin took Belarus as a nuclear hostage. Putin said that there is nothing unusual here either. The United States has been doing this for decades. They have long placed their tactile nuclear weapons on the territory of their allies. Putin said that he had spoken to Belarusian leader Alexander Lukashenko and that they agreed Russia can do that the same. And now let's take a look at the top stars. 46th anniversary of liberation of NAFA observed. Seminar focusing on controlling harmful practices conducted. Iran and Syria condemns U.S. attack on Iran-linked facilities. Russia to station nuclear arm in Belarus, says Vladimir Putin. It was me, Salim Berhana, with the news for tonight. Thank you for being with us. Have a good night.